If this cloth leaves a bit of fluff on my face, just tell me, right? Terrible. No? Yeah?
No, you're all good. Everyone recording?
I need to wash it.
Ryan, huge congratulations. What a performance. Your first win here. The best performance of the first round so far. Still a couple to go. Just sum that one up for us.
Yeah, it was good. Like I just said, I didn't feel like I was playing that well in the first session. I looked at the screen, I was averaging 102, and I thought, well, if you're averaging 102 and you're feeling how you're feeling, if I can sort of knuckle down and get my head in the game properly, then I can really turn it on. And I felt like in the second session I turned the screw really on him. And I think that's where I've done the damage.
It would have been easy to get caught up in the Barney fanfare here. How hard was it to block everything out in and around the game because Barney returning?
Yeah, that was pretty easy, to be fair. When he was doing his walk on, I had my earbuds in, sort of just completely ignored it and didn't really take any notice, so it's fine.
We know last year the defeat hurt. We saw on your social media that it stung. How nice is it to get that out of the system and put it right?
Yeah, obviously, to lose the 101 average last year, that did hurt. I think it was the highest losing average of the first round. And you look around at other games and people are winning with 92s and 91s, you're thinking, how's your luck? But it's just one of those. I feel like I started the season quite well, obviously winning the first Pro Tour of the year, making 2 other finals in the next sort of 5 events. But it's just the majors really that I sort of really want to push on now, and I feel, I was saying to Dimmy earlier in the practice room that I've just got a buzz today, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit of nerves, and I feel like I played better with a little bit of nerves, and that obviously showed tonight.
Where is the Ryan Searle game? Because you touched on it there, at the start of the year it was brilliant, then we saw a little dip, then we saw you pulling out tournaments and not entering them. Yeah. So where is the Ryan Searle game right now?
Obviously I'm using new darts. Well, I haven't used it very long, they're 34 grams now instead of 32, so I've gone up a bit of weight, and I feel like if I'm getting my first dart right like I was tonight a lot, then I can really do some damage. Me and Gary haven't managed to get much practice sessions in the last few weeks. Obviously he's been away on holiday. He said I was on holiday, but trying to stitch me up. Not my fault, it's his fault. But yeah, I'd like to practice with Gary a bit more, and I think in the break now after this tournament we'll try and practice once or twice a week, and darts is in a better place with Gary Anderson playing well for sure.
Right, congratulations, thank you very much.
Cheers mate, thank you.
Ryan, what's the reasoning for going up another couple of grams of the darts?
There's no real reason, I just felt like it. I just felt like I've used the same dart for the last 4 years, and I was getting a little bit bored of it, so I was just like, just got a couple of grams, and it might make me want to practice a bit more, so it's making me put the hours in on the board, and I feel like it's getting there and it's kind of showing, and obviously I played alright tonight, so can't be bad.
Is the next logical step for you to have some more consistent runs in these TV events? We know you've got to the final of the Players' Championship, but to do it on a more consistent basis, is that the next step?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is where if you want to go up in the rankings, you need to be doing well in majors, And last season I was terrible in, other than here where I played well, I was terrible in most of the other majors, and just sort of didn't do myself any favours. I'm defending a lot of money near the end of this season. I'm not really fussed about that, to be fair, because I feel like even if I drop out of the top 16, that I'm in that bracket now where I'll qualify for this and the Grand Prix without being in the top 16, so I'm not really too worried about that. Why not win this week?
Gary was saying the other day, really fancies his chances there. Is he just trying to avoid you for later on in the draw?
No, I'm trying to avoid him. I haven't won a session since Christmas, so I'm trying to avoid him. Cheers, mate.
Ryan, how important was it to get out in front tonight? Because we know sometimes Raymond's head can drop, and obviously to silence the crowd as well.
Oh, 100%. The crowd were really loud for him tonight. I thought if I can sort of get on top of him and keep them quiet, and I think in the end the crowd were pretty good for me. There was one guy up in the balcony that I kept putting my thumb up to. Couldn't really see him because I can't see very well, but I see his outline in the crowd, and just put my thumb up to him, sort of distract myself from the situation, and it's pretty good.
You mentioned about starting the season really well, then tailing off a little bit, but do you feel like a performance like that tonight could really prove a catalyst to kick on again now?
Yeah, 100%. I felt like obviously after the World last year and the Masters, I threw away leads and ended up losing. Like sort of had something to prove to myself, and obviously winning the first Pro Tour of the season was a big thing. I feel after that been a little bit complacent, but I feel like when I do put the work in, the results follow. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Ryan, I just want to kind of touch base on your friendship with Gary. A lot of North Americans don't realize that you have such a significant friendship with Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you, just having that support system and that confidence builder with Gary?
Yeah, it's weird. Obviously, it's been no secret that Gary was my favourite dart player before I was really playing darts. And then a few years later, I'm invited to his wedding and stuff like that. It's crazy. Go around his house for practice. He comes to my house and we have a throw. It's kind of weird. We even came here yesterday for a throw, so I try and get him out because he didn't feel overly good when he played Chisley, so I felt I'd try and get him out and get him throwing, which can only help. And yeah, it's good. I think he was meant to come tonight. I don't know if he turned up in the end, but I might see him tomorrow for a throw.
It's fairly cool to see that you've got this kind of childhood deal going on where you kind of idolize some of these players,
Yeah. Obviously, sort of goes through the ages where sort of Gary was my favourite player. My friend Owen Bates, he's only 20, he was his favourite player. Got a lot of friends my sort of age that Gary's always been their favourite player as well, and obviously he's fast and doesn't mess around, and I sort of base my game around that, whether things are going bad or they're going well, I sort of throw the same pace and just sort of get on with the game.
There you go. Well, 105 average, 47% checkout rate. That's
nah,
lift your title,
not
maybe.
Bad. Not bad for a blind man, is it? Not bad. Not bad.
Well, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Congrats to you.
All the best.